Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. I'm the Goose. Glad to have you back. And for your first-time viewers, welcome. Hope you enjoy the program. Going to talk a little bit of boxing again. Don't worry, we've got other subjects to come in the very near future, but we'll start the way we always do with some caffeine. Gotta have my caffeine, especially at my age. My coffee, as you know, very strong, just like my opinion, and got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. There we go. What's up with Manny Pacquiao? Well, of course, he hasn't fought since July 20th of this year, when he wrested the share of the welterweight crown from Keith Thurman, the WBA crown, I believe. So Manny, the legend, continues. What is he? 62-7-2, I think it is. Yeah, and he's just, he's on a roll. He's going to be 41 very soon, but he doesn't look a day over 31. And he showed it against Keith Thurman, a much younger opponent. And you know what? I'm beginning to think, and we've had this conversation many times in past years, I'm beginning to think, A, there's nobody out there who can beat him in the welterweight division, or B, nobody really wants to fight him in the welterweight division because he'll embarrass you. He's not just that killer that he's always been, but as he's grown older and more experienced, he gets smarter and learns new moves and new tactics. And of course, he has that great training team, the legendary Freddie Roach, and the strength and conditioning trainer, Justin Fortune, and of course, Boo Boy is his long friend of many years. What a team. What a team. The guy's a Hall of Famer and again, shows no signs of slowing down. So he has already announced that he will come back and fight in either March or April. I know that's kind of a long layoff, and I heard, although I didn't watch the show, one of the other boxing channels say, oh, that's too long a layoff. Worry. No, don't worry. He knows what he's doing. And when you get older, there's no need to fight 3-4 times a year. He's a winner, and he knows exactly what he's doing. So anyhow, who is Manny going to fight? That's the big question. Well, we already have got a good idea of who he won't fight. It won't be Terrence Crawford, although I'd love to see that fight. But the reason we won't see it is because Terrence Crawford is with Bob Arum and Top Rank, not part of the PBC crowd. So it's probably not going to happen. Why, I don't know. Maybe because Bob Arum is, that's his cash cow, and he doesn't want to see him lose. So we won't see Terrence Crawford. The other fighter we probably won't see, and this is really unfortunate, is Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. And it's a big question mark with him still after all this time. What's it been, like 2 months now? Going on 2 months after his car crash. Haven't seen or heard anything about him. We saw this cryptic, mysterious message. What was it? Email or Twitter or something, where small letters, "I give up" or something of that nature. I'm not really sure that was him. Who knows? It's like I said, it's a mystery. I'm beginning to think, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm beginning to think he was badly hurt in that car crash. And unfortunately, statistics would bear me out. I think I mentioned after the crash that 83% of people who are ejected from a vehicle in a car crash die. That's not even injured. I mean, die. So he's still alive as far as we know, charged with DWI because he was drunk. But yeah. All we heard is, he broke some teeth. No, I don't believe that for a minute. So we hope and pray that Errol Spence Jr. Is going to be okay. And who really cares about boxing at this stage? We hope the guy's physical and mental health is good. So let's hope for the best for Errol Spence Jr. Anyhow, getting back to the topic, those are two fighters, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., probably won't see Manny Pacquiao fight in his next bout in March or April. And don't forget, those are two title holders. Spence has two belts. So anyhow, Pacquiao has one still. He is the WBA welterweight title holder. He's announced that the list of potential opponents is down to 3. It's either going to be one of the Garcias, Mikey or Danny, or Sean Porter, who lost that welterweight title fight to Errol Spence Jr. A few months ago. Now, who would you like to see Pacquiao fight in this next bout? Personally, I think him fighting Mikey Garcia would just be a joke. Because Mikey Garcia, all due respect to him, he's a champion, but not a welterweight champion. And Errol Spence Jr. just schooled him. So Pacquiao fighting Mikey Garcia would be a big disappointment. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love to see the Danny Garcia fight. He's a former title holder with a very impressive resume. But Danny Garcia recently, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Danny Garcia said, no. I want a couple of warm-up fights before I take on Pacquiao. Well, if you do that, Pacquiao will be retired by then. So I think he's more or less saying, no, I want no piece of this guy. It's very smart. So that leaves Sean Porter. And that would be a great fight. I think we'd all agree that Porter would give Pacquiao a run for his money. And many of us think he was on the way to beating Errol Spence Jr. before that 11th round knockdown. And many think he beat him anyhow. So, Sean Porter's the real deal. And he's a lovable character. He's a pit bull in the ring, of course. He's just going to be all up in your face the whole bout. And we saw that during Errol Spence fight. But he's a lovable guy. All smiles, family-oriented, God-loving man, very intelligent, and I think it'd be a great matchup. Another fighter we probably won't see, and many of us don't want to see this either, is Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Manny Pacquiao. Floyd recently said he will come out of retirement in 2020, and I think he said he would either he'd fight Pacquiao and or another MMA fighter. So who knows what's going to happen. We're not really sure what to believe with Floyd Mayweather Jr. anyhow, because he just likes to, get attention, because he doesn't want anybody else to get the attention. And it works for him. He keeps making money. So good for Floyd. And he might be facing a little legal battle himself with that incident in Vegas recently where his bodyguard punched out a fan who had the audacity to ask Floyd to take a picture with him. Crazy soap opera with Floyd Mayweather Jr. So who knows what's going to happen there. But we do know Manny will fight in March or April. And for those of you who need to be reminded who this guy is, Pacquiao is an 8-division world champion. Nobody's had more than 5. And if you just count lineal titles, he has 5. Nobody's ever done that. He has fought more champions than anybody else. He has fought 33, almost half of his fights in his career. 33 of his bouts have been against former, present, or future champions. Isn't that amazing? No fear in this man. And of those 33 fights, his record is 25, 6, and 2. And we know 2 or 3 of those fights were gifts, outright robbery. So, nobody, you can't accuse Pacquiao, although people still try and do it, of ducking anybody. Manny doesn't duck anybody. He fights everybody, and he fights the best, and more often than not, he wins. So, that's why we like Manny Pacquiao. He's a warrior, and he's respectful at the same time. So it's nice to see. Anyhow, that's what we have. That's the latest for Manny Pacquiao. Going to be 41, by the way, and I believe he goes back to work as a senator. The congressional session in the Philippines resumes, I think, in May or June. So he's a busy guy. So going to be March or April with Manny Pacquiao, probably either taking on Sean Porter or one of the Garcias, Mikey or Danny. We'll see. We'll keep you up to date. That's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. Many, many thanks for you folks who watch and subscribe. The number keeps growing, and we really, really appreciate it. We have more shows to come. Not just boxing. We'll talk a little Filipino politics, and I'm going to rant about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's not good. I'm going to rip them up. I'm very upset. So that's coming up soon. So stick with us. More shows to come. You take care.